Good to go.
Nice. It's rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Tremendous. Good morning, everybody. What's the date today? Is it this? Oh, it's the 4th. June 4th, 2024, 10:03 in the morning. I am on my third camera battery and it's 10 o'clock. It's been an early one. Happy to have you guys here. What's Good Denver is a weekly celebration of culture and discovery and fun stuff to do in Denver for kids, couples, singles, and old timers. I'm Ryan Estes today with special guest Nathan LeCompte.
Hello, good
What's
morning.
up, buddy? Is that the proper pronunciation of your name?
It is. You nailed it, actually. Yeah, I probably should have queued you up with the pronunciation like some podcasts do, just to make sure. But that was spot on.
Nice.
It is French, so some people would go Le Comte, really fancy, but it's just Le Comte. That's the American way to say it.
But it is Le Comte.
Yeah, which means the count, which is crazy. It means either I had ancestors who were accountants, or were royalty. I don't know. Haven't looked into it that much.
Or a vampire.
That's true too. That's true too. The Count from Sesame Street has been on my list as a Halloween costume for years, and I just have not done one of these years. I'll get to it.
Nice. Thanks for joining us, man. We're also with Tom, the Wook Whisperer Donahue.
Oh yeah.
And of course, the NBA Finals of podcasting, Troy Higgins. Now, I wanted to start off today, guys, to get a little idea of how you're coming in to the show, just emotionally, how you're coming into the show. So I've got a question to lead things off. Okay. I'm talking about your soul now. Okay. Your soul. I want you to imagine your soul as a landscape. Okay. What does the landscape look like today? Is it a forest? Is it a lush forest? Is it a forest with maybe some hail damage? Is it a desert? Are there cactuses? How is the soul feeling this morning? Troy, let's start, buddy.
I'm going to go with a barren, desolate desert with some vultures picking at a half-eaten. No, I'm just kidding. I'm feeling good today. Yeah, ready to tackle the week. If I had to pick a landscape, let's go with the beach. Let's just pick a sunny day at the beach. Nice clear water, just kind of chilling, relaxing. Nothing too crazy, but definitely feeling in a zone of peace, serenity, and readiness to tackle the day.
All right, sandcastles.
Yeah, sandcastles, that works. Sea turtles, anything
Sea
beach
turtles.
related. Yeah,
Nice.
I like the question. Deep.
Yeah,
Deep
we're talking about the soul right now.
Yeah.
Tom, what you got?
This morning I'm kind of feeling like a little rainforesty. I got some good things going. There's some new growth happening. We got some real beautiful things happening inside, but there's also a little bit of danger hiding around the corner. There's some stress happening. There's a poison dart frog just blending into that tree over there that I gotta watch out for. Gotta be careful. So I'm treading lightly, but there's some good things going on. So
What other animals are in the rainforest?
there's definitely some poisonous snakes as well, in addition to
Yep.
the frogs. But we also got some cute, fluffy, koala bears. Do koalas live in the rainforest? I think they only live in Australia, actually. What do we have? We got some beautiful, you know, blue morpho butterflies flying around. We
Ooh.
got some cool monkeys just hanging, swinging. So there's lots of different animals.
It's like a good morning to me.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But gotta watch out for those traps hanging around the corner.
Dart frog. They're so unassuming looking and cute. It makes you just want to go give it a little tickle, but then it's bad.
Mm-mm,
It's
exactly.
got poison darts. Could be festooned to them.
Mhm.
Nice. Nathan, how about you, buddy?
Yeah, this is a good question. Definitely a deep way to start this off. I'm gonna go with like the top of a mountain. Like once you hit the point on a mountain where like the tree line recedes, like we're talking like 14,000 feet up, 13,000 feet up, like almost like that, not, not a tundra, but that tundra feeling where there's fewer vegetation because you're up so high, very Colorado specific feeling. And I'm going to go with that because it's like you reach that point by climbing a mountain, you reach that point by getting through the trees, and anything that lives up there makes it up there, like made its way through kind of some treacherous terrain to get there and take into view. And I guess that's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling great. Getting the great view of all the mountains is me being on this podcast right now, but my week so far has just been busy, go, working through things. And so it's nice to get to the clearing at the top, and that's where I'm at.
What about animals? Are there any animals above tree line up there, like a pika?
Oh man, there's like marmots, I guess. Is that what's at
Yeah.
the top of the mountain? Like marmots. I don't know what else is up there really. It's a little barren. Marmots, maybe some butterflies make their way up there,
Blue
deer.
morpho.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the soul intertwinal that's happening right now on this podcast.
dang,
We're
What-
intertwining.
What's a
that could be
marmot?
it.
Marmot?
Yeah.
It's like a rodent.
It's like
So,
a
yeah,
chubby squirrel, basically. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. You should look up a photo of it.
I tried it. I'm probably spelling it wrong. I'm seeing Marmite, like the spread.
So it's like Marmot.
Uh
They're just like, they almost look like beavers now that I'm looking at a photo. I'm like, not at all. Like they're just rodents, but they just like live in the rocks kind of higher up. Probably
oh.
bugs and stuff. Yeah, they're kind of everywhere in certain places. Like they chirp
mountain
at
squirrels.
mountain squirrels is a good way to describe them. Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, definite like bedrock of the food chain, marmots. Everything eats a marmot. So they're head on a swivel, and they talk to each other to keep each other alerted of any kind of prey.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
this
So oh, go ahead. Sorry.
looks like a beefy squirrel. That's what it looks like.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Little
Yeah.
chunks.
The
Mhm.
squirrel that's got all the fat to survive the winter up there too.
That makes sense.
Nice. So I'm feeling like very similar to Nathan this morning, pinnacle of a mountaintop. I think my mountain is actually a dormant volcano, and in that crater that was once lava is now a alpine lake. And because there's still a little bit of like heat, that it's created this kind of interesting bloom of exotic shrimps. And as a result, there's gigantic cutthroat trout in that. And there's also blue morpho butterflies that are flying in there. And now there's also marmots. So
Wow.
Wow,
it seems like we're all coming from a similar position. This is a good way to start the podcast, I think.
Yeah.
nice.
Incredible.
Yeah, could see
Nice.
that.
All right. So today's feature is food trucks to follow in Denver, or we'll just call it food trucks. I find out where they're at and I go to them. To follow the show, go to kitcaster.com/Denver. Subscribe on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. Our music is by Troy Higgins. Our sponsor is Kitcaster. Get booked on the world's top podcast at kitcaster.com. All right, let's jump into events. Let's start with our guest. Nathan, did you have a chance to pull some events for the week that you'd like to feature?
Yeah. So I have quite a few events. They're all yoga and Red Rocks related, which I think you guys haven't covered before, right?
Perfect.
Nice.
That's
Amazing.
all we want to discuss.
That's all we talk about, really.
No, I have a few. I kind of took I don't know if this is cheating, but I picked a few events that are all kind of starting up this week and run through the summer because they're kind of events that locals know, but hey, maybe you don't realize what time of the year it is, or maybe you're not a local and you're listening to this podcast. And I don't know if you all have covered them, and they're all fun things that I like to partake in every year. So, first of all, we've got City Park Jazz started this last weekend. I don't know if you all have covered that, but that's always a really good, fun time. Every Sunday evening at City Park, there's a different artist who plays some sort of jazz. It's always a good way to end the weekend. Go lay out a picnic blanket, have some snacks, listen to the music. If you're in the neighborhood, definitely go by. If you haven't been there before, it's just a nice, relaxing time, and it actually draws a pretty big crowd. And that started this past weekend, but it goes until August. So it's all summer now. So any weekend you don't have something to do on a Sunday afternoon, go check it out. And then similarly, I live in Boulder. I don't know if that's been discussed, but I'm just a little north of Denver these days. And another event that is up here is Band on the Bricks. Same exact concept. It's just running music every week. And that starts this upcoming Wednesday, June 12th. And it's every Wednesday until August. Same thing. It's that time of the year where they just have a band on Pearl Street Mall in Boulder. And it's basically you can go do your shop and go get some food or go check out the band. So definitely a fun time. And then my favorite thing I want to mention is starting in a couple weeks. I'm getting ahead again. I'm cheating with this a bit, but the Renaissance Fair starts up on June 15th, which is super, super cool. Have any of you all been to that before?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So much fun.
I
Do you
have
dress
not.
up? Are you going cosplay?
You know, I haven't before, but I might this year. We'll see. I have a new group of nerdy friends from a D&D game I play and that are down to go and dress up. So who knows? I might full on embrace it at the age of 30 finally. So
Oh, it's the perfect time. So what's the outfit? Are you going French cobbler? Are you going full like knight?
we'll see. I don't know. You know, I haven't put that much thought into it. I think I've heard you can kind of wear whatever you want. So I might go just kind of French cobbler. Yeah, like type of like noble looking ruffles or something like that. Maybe we'll see. If I can get away with a pirate look, I'll do that. You know, just kind of like fancy noble look attire, and we'll fit in. We'll go around, see the jousting, eat some good food, buy some good items. But yeah, it's great to go to. It's great to buy stuff at too. If you want just random cool things for your house, they buy like tons of they sell tons of items and wall art and just like shields and stuff. You know, it's pretty cool. So definitely check that out. Great to take your kids to. And then let's see. The last thing I wanted to plug was this distillery up in Boulder actually called DV8, which has been my favorite distillery for a while. And I'm plugging them because on Saturday, June 8th, they are doing a Dance Till You Glow Pride Party, which I think also includes foam, and they open it up to two different dance floors. But that in itself should be a fun time. But TVA definitely bookmark their event schedule if you are in Boulder or willing to go up to Boulder for stuff, because they have just the most unique DJ sets and like event nights almost every weekend. Like they have witch themed events, they have poker nights, have they have all types of themes, 80s, 90s, you know, just like every weekend it's like so insanely different. They have cabaret, you know, and it's always a good time, and there's always a niche that they come up with. Sometimes they have like goth nights, I think, you know, so if you just keep an eye on it one of these weekends, you'll have something that just hits that exact niche of what you like, I think.
This
So
might be the place to host that event that we've been talking about, which is foam goth yoga.
Mm, mhm, mhm.
honestly, that would fit right in. I haven't heard about this idea, but yes, this would be the perfect spot for that. Yep.
Oh
Nice.
God, yoga. All of those events are awesome. The City Park Jazz looks super cool. It looks like they get a pretty big size crowd as well.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
Is that
amazing.
is it called Jazz in the Park? Is that the same one?
Yeah, yeah, Jazz in the Park is what it goes by. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. What's in your picnic basket for jazz in the park, Nathan? What are you going with? You going shrimp cocktail?
I would go. I mean, I'm always like a crackers and cheese guy at the park, you know. I go fancy brie cheese or something like that. Grapes, you got to have grapes. I go very bougie, I guess, now that I think about it. And then I honestly just like sneak White Claws or beers or something in a cooler too. I think that's fine. Like just have them in a koozie and you're good to go. And I think that's pretty much it. Maybe some pretzels, just stuff like that. Dipping stuff, dipping snacks.
That's a good one. Yeah, I think you can have anything you want as long as it's a can. You can't bring glass to the park.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Mm.
Yeah.
And don't bring your pit bulls either. There was a couple of years where you go to Jazz in the Park, and it was a beautiful display of pit bulls. But man, having young children, you're just like, dude, this is too scary. It's too scary.
Too scary for the pit bulls. The Jazz pit bulls.
I tell you, one of the best experiences of my entire life, one of the most popular I've ever been was at Jazz in the Park. And this is my kids were little. And I had one of those giant styrofoam airplanes, the gliders, that you just pop the wings on and the tail thing. And it went to Jazz in the Park and like threw it one time. And there was like 100 kids came out of everywhere. We're like, wow. It was so fun. So it was like doing loop-de-loops and the kids would go run it down and bring it back. It was so cool.
That's epic.
Yeah. I love Jazz in the Park. It's amazing. Nice. Thanks, Nathan. Those are solid. I'm trying to think of like my Renaissance fair outfit. Yeah, if it was aspirational, I'd like to have like the vest, the leather vest, but like it stops like right on the chest. And then you have to cinch it up with the leather lace, and then you have kind of the blousey shirt, but then you also have the forearm, like, what do they call that? A gauntlet, like the forearm protector with the leather.
Yeah, a little bit of a gauntlet there. Yeah, that's a good look. Okay.
Yeah, the high leather boots, maybe a kilt. I'm not really what is that, Scottish, but Celtic nonetheless. I mean, you can be whatever you want, maybe like stormtrooper pants, just to like throw a curveball in there.
Yeah, you could probably get away with it. You could get away with it. You'll get some looks wearing some sci-fi stuff to the Renaissance Fair, but it's all just fantasy in one way or another.
And they'll talk trash to you. That's the other thing, is that sometimes you got to be pretty open-minded, because they can get kind of debased and mean, people in costume start accosting you. You're like, hey, easy guy. All right, Tom, what do you got? What do you got on tap this week?
I think I would want to try to be an old Renaissance wizard somehow, if I could make that fit in. But I don't know if it really fits the bill or not.
You guys play RuneScape? Anyone play RuneScape? Oh, I spent a good portion of my life in that game. I'd have to dress up as something derived from that game.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm trying to be a mage with like a staff and everything. That would be pretty sick.
I'd be happy with just being like an NPC, like side peasant, just like, like that would be fun too.
Side peasant.
RuneScape peasant.
Yeah.
You could do that, but have like all your outfit be like pixelated, That would be
like
perfect.
the default character. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be
Default pixelated RuneScape character. That would be sick.
Like, what are you? You'd be like, well, starving, basically.
Yeah. That was the time though. Hey.
You can just have one line of dialogue you repeat over and over, Troy. Give up fetch quests, like I need 12 potatoes. Can you get me potatoes, please?
Yeah. I'll reward you with 30 gold coins.
Trade ?
Yep.
Trade.
Oh,
All right. This weekend, some things that I'm highlighting. One big one that's happening in Civic Center Park is the Regenerate Festival. Last weekend we talked about Outside Fest. They got it down. They do all the festivals at Civic Center Park at the same time, because they just leave it set up. So I know that they set up the stages differently and stuff, but I think the core infrastructure these promoters are collaborating on, and they leave it there in the middle of the week, so that next weekend they can have all the bass heads and house heads come in and listen to their music. So that's this weekend. Regenerate on June 7th and 8th. You got people like Ben Bomer, Disco Lines, Eric Prydz, John Summit, Gorgon City, Purple Disco Machine, to name a few. Um, it's going to be pretty cool. I've seen how they set up some of the stages. I really like how in the middle of Civic Center Park, um, they have those kind of like half circle monuments. There's kind of two of them that are parallel, or I guess kind of intersecting with like the main strip of it. They set up some really cool stages on those where they light up all of like the architecture and stuff. It looks really nice. Um, so definitely check that out.
Yeah. Nathan, you went to Outside this weekend, didn't you?
Yeah, I
Which
did. I was there on Saturday to see Thundercat like you.
Oh, nice. I'm surprised I didn't run into you.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty big crowd, but yeah, that would have been funny if we did run into each other. It was a cool time. It was fun. I hadn't seen them before. I'd always wanted to, so they had a good show.
Was Thundercat singing in his like usual like high pitched voice that he does on the record on the actual records?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a trio. And I love Thundercat and all the stuff he's done with Kendrick and everybody else. He's amazing. His songs are like, very, you listen to him, it's kind of challenging because the just like the modes are like pretty rich harmonically, but I had no idea he could play like that. Like, oh my God, dude. I mean, he was ripping on the six-string bass. It was unreal.
Yeah, he's a crazy bass player. I saw him a couple months ago, and the first thing he says during the show is like, "Hey, I had a real late night last night. I was performing with suicidal tendencies, and was screaming the whole night, so I lost my voice." So his like singing sounded nothing like his vocals sounded nothing like they do on the album when I saw him. It was like slightly disappointing, but I was like, okay, I get it. Like I appreciate you at least being out here. So it's cool to hear you guys got to kind of see him at full capacity.
Dang. Yeah, he's living the rock star life. Sometimes you gotta screen the night before and might change your show up the next day, but you still come through and pluck that bass. He's a really good bass player.
Unreal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like you were saying too, Tom, they have it down. It was really cool. There's like the food trucks on the periphery. They had a whole climbing demonstration, like some competitive climbing that was going on that was really cool. Yeah, I thought it was just like the whole event was like great. It was really fun. And they lit up like the city and county building, and it's gorgeous. Perfect night for it. I wish I would have ran into Nathan.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool that they time these up together so that they just do one big build and one big tear down. Obviously, during the week, they'll change some things up according to the event, but I like how they do it here, Civic Center Park. They just get their festivals done with for the year, and then that's it. But anyway, if you are going to that, or if you're not going to that, there's an after party at Bow Brew House with your boy, me playing. So come through. Bow Brew House is a super cool place. It's a really nice Asian fusion style restaurant that at night turns into a nightclub. So they transition it over, and Regenerate ends at 10. Our show starts there at 10:30. So if you want some more house music for an after party, come check that out. Cool. Next thing that I just found, this just opened up in May or towards the end of May. It is called Bubble Planet. The Bubble Planet Experience. An experience to dream big. Okay. This is kind of like, it's like a Meow Wolf thing. But bubble themed. So they got 11 thematic environments. They have a virtual reality experience where you're in this kind of like 4D, virtual reality experience. You can put the headset on and everything. You're sitting in a big bubble. But it looks really cool. I mean, I've clicked through some of the different experiences that they have. I got it on screen for the viewers right now. The bubble ocean, the LED room. I mean, this stuff, it does look crazy. If you want to go, have some fun, explore with your friends, or if you want to bring the kids, it's family friendly. It looks super cool. Um, the virtual reality experiences has rave reviews online, so it seems like something if you want to just get a little weird or do some cool exploring. Seems like a place that you could check out. Enter the Bubble
Bubbles.
Gateway. Bubbles,
Bubbles,
yes.
man. I need to hear the backstory on this. Like, how does someone become, how do they go this deep in Bubbles? There's like 10 rooms here about Bubbles.
There is 10 rooms, whole VR experience. It looks pretty sweet. I mean, I might check it out. If you want to go and get some Instagram pics, it's perfect for the influencers. Get down there, get whatever photos you need. But if you're like me and just want to check out the cool stuff and play with some bubbles, check it
Yeah.
out. It's
Nice.
yeah, it's not too expensive. Hold on, I'll click the ticket thing right here. So it's different prices per day. Obviously, your weekends might be a little bit more pricey, but all said and done, it's like $30 to enter. 10
Oh,
different rooms plus VR experience. Hell yeah. It's not a bad deal.
yeah. It looks really cool. Bizarre.
Yeah, some of these rooms are wild looking. I'm looking at their Instagram. I don't know if I'm looking at the infinity bubble room or the LED room, but some of them look crazy. Just endless bubbles as far as the eye can see.
Well, I like
Check.
the one with the old Victorian bathtub and then the little rubber duckies over the wall. I don't know if you guys see that one.
Yes. Yeah.
I like
They all look pretty cool. I haven't seen any that look specifically boring. I like the infinity room, where it's just endless bubble lights. Check it out. It's bubble-planet.com. I think they have a couple different ones, so you might need to add the /Denver at the end to get to Denver. But just Google it, you'll figure it out. Sweet. Next thing. Okay, I'll let you guys choose this next one because I have two here. But you want sushi making class or do you want a um, Gen X and millennials themed gathering / party?
Let's go Gen X.
All
Yeah,
right.
let's hear about
We got Dusk is the name of this event. Denver's gathering spot for millennials and Gen Xers. Okay, you must be born pre 1994. If you are not, you are not getting in. They are very clear about that. If you are not born before 1994, you are not allowed in. There is going to be live DJ, dancing, local brews, cannabis, mocktails, food trucks, and you're in bed by 11 p.m. Put on by
Music to
fuck,
my ears. Oh my God.
put on by Fuck Yeah Events at Ant Life, which is over on
nice.
Market Street. Um, yeah, so I mean, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Good DJs, a bar supporting local breweries and cocktails, a good place to enjoy cannabis or mushrooms, mocktails, popcorn, and more. Hmm. I mean, they got munchies and some nostalgic snacks available. Gushers, to name one or two, just one, I guess. uh, yeah, and each event will feature a 501 nonprofit where a portion of sales will be made as a donation. So this event is for the Denver Cat Rescue. If you are a cat loving Gen X or millennial, um, here's the frequently asked questions. What if I am born after 1995? This party isn't for you, kid. What if I'm a cool 27 years old? Awesome, but no, you still can't party with the adults. So that
Wow.
they mean it. You must be a pre 1994 baby to go to Dusk.
You got to have
Um,
some good like gardening tips in order to be there. There's going to be some talk about lawn care, you know?
Mhm.
yeah,
That's
definitely all
and
those
it's
things.
I like the name Dusk. It's like, well, it's dusk. It's gonna be a good party. The sun's gone down, probably for me to go to bed.
10
But
p.m.
I do have
They're
to,
out of there.
I got to push back a little bit. I don't necessarily recommend mixing mushrooms and alcohol in clubs. I mean, it's probably there's possibility to do that on a micro level, just make everything a little bit more silly, but don't go hard around booze with mushrooms, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, we're in Denver, we're preaching to the choir here. Everybody knows how their threshold, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if they're preaching mixing or what, but they are preaching a safe space for those types of things at the desk party. So who knows?
And it's a bunch of adults, so there's not going to be kids there ruining it with their good times and smiles.
Yeah,
The
late.
bitterness can kind of come through a little bit.
They're not going to be ruining it with their late nights.
Yeah.
Staying up past 11.
Seriously,
Their
ridiculous.
youthful exuberance and energy. Ugh.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
If you wanna, after dusk, come over to Bao Brew House. Our party starts after dusk ends. So, uh, cool. Oh, sorry, real quick. Dusk is on Saturday, June 8th, just so you know. $40. Choose your own adventure, it says. Cool. And then real quick, we got a Red Rock schedule. Tonight is all-time low. Support from Bad Sons Beauty School Dropout. Tomorrow night, Wednesday, June 5th, Ian Munsick. I don't know too much about Ian Munsick, but support from The War and Treaty and Chancey Williams. Cool. Thursday, Britt Floyd. My retiree parents have spoken very highly about Britt Floyd, the Pink Floyd tribute band, and apparently they are really good. I mean, they're playing Red Rocks, and I'm sure it's going to be sold out, so check them out. Friday, Sarah McLaughlin, support from Feist. Cool. Yeah, no bass at Red Rocks this weekend. They're sending all the dance kids to Civic Center Park. Saturday, Yoga on the Rocks, River Yoga. That's at 7 a.m. bright and early. And then Saturday night, Big Head Todd and the Monsters. Support from the Wallflowers. Sweet. Sunday, Trevor Hall with the Colorado Symphony Orchestra and special guest Valerie June. And that is it. Oh, wait, I'll throw this in Monday since we won't talk again until then. Film on the Rocks, The Matrix. Go check out The Matrix Monday, June 10th at 7 p.m. And that is it for me.
Nice. That's a good schedule there. Big Head Todd, man. That's classic mid-90s stuff right there. The Wallflowers, Jacob Dylan. I think ironically, Jacob Dylan had a bigger hit than his dad ever did. But it sounds fun.
Cool.
They do movies at Red Rocks. I didn't know that.
This is so they actually typically how I've seen it, it's like a drive-in movie theater. So they'll one of the big parking lots, you can come up and they have a big screen up there. So you don't actually like go into the rocks and sit on the stands. As far as I know. But it's like a drive-in movie theater type situation. And they have them like once a week in the peak season, so it seems to be pretty popular.
I was gonna say that'd be crazy to sit in the actual arena and watch a movie on like the sound system. That'd be wild.
I wonder if they ever do that.
They have. I saw Big Lebowski up there once. It was like they had the Denver Symphony Orchestra and Film on the Rocks. So it was great. It's very pleasant.
So were they like scoring over the movie?
No, they did like before and after. So they do a little stuff. Yeah. But it's wild to watch them. Yeah, it's like you like watch a movie looking down. It's such a different experience because you're used to like looking up.
Yeah.
But it's cool. Nice. Okay. I got a couple of things on tap this weekend. Levitt Pavilion is in full swing. Denver, Colorado. If you guys don't know about Levitt Pavilion, they have a free concert series all summer. There's like 50 different shows. And this Saturday, Common's going to be down there. So it's going to be, they're calling it the Block Party and Common's headlining it. It should be absolutely extraordinary. Who did I see last year? I saw cut chemist in Charlie Tuna. I've seen the Reggae on the Rocks. I've seen Honey there. It's awesome. I love the Levitt Pavilion. So cool. Bring your park chairs, bring your blanket, bring your picnic basket like the aristocrat Nathan with his cheese and his pretzels. You could bring actually, I don't know if you can bring in food. I'm not sure, but you can definitely bring in your blanket. And that's going to be Saturday. I'm going to that for sure. I picked up some tickets. On Sunday, 5 Points Jazz Festival, which has been going on for 2 decades, and there are a bunch of familiar names on this. This should be a great way to spend your Sunday afternoon. I want to give some shout outs to some of my people. I know Tania's playing. I know Pernell Steen is playing. I know Big Wheel Electro Soul's playing. Shout out to those guys. I haven't seen them forever. Jakarta's playing. Buckner Funk and Jazz. Hugh Reagan, amazing trumpet player. Just a humongous roster of fantastic local jazz players here in Denver. That's Sunday. A great way to spend your Sunday. We have the Boulder Jewish Festival on Sunday. I want to give them a shout out to our northern neighbors, Boulder. And, the Jews have had a rough couple of months. So I figure what a better way to go shout them out and go check out their festival this Sunday in Boulder. I also wanted to put something that's a couple of weeks away, but it might need a little bit of planning, largely because the ticket price is kind of high. But and you also need some travel. So this is a tincturing course in Paonia, Colorado. Have you guys ever been to Paonia?
I think I have. No.
Mm-mm. Paonia is awesome. I think Boulder is known for a few things, outdoorsiness and hippies for sure. Paonia is like the black belt level hippie in Colorado. Shout out to my peeps in Netherlands. I'm not trying to overlook you guys. Your efforts to hippiedom does not go unnoticed, but Paonia, dude, Paonia is where the hardcore hippies are at. You got retreat centers up there. You got meditation centers up. You got a whole world that exists in Paonia that most folks in Colorado don't know about. So I wanted to share this event because it looks really cool. The Art and Science of Botanical Tincturing Workshop, June 13th through 16th in Paonia, Colorado, put on by Elderberries. This is a $450 ticket, but it's in person and it looks really cool. I mean, I always thought tinctures was like, you take some roots and you put some vodka in there and then you put it in the cabinet. Apparently there's a lot more to do. So there's different maceration and percolation techniques that you can practice making a great tincture in 20 minutes from dried herbs. Experience power maceration using affordable programmable insulated home extractors to make potent tinctures within hours. So this seems to scratch a couple of itches for me. One, just like natural botanical herbalism, I'm definitely into that in supplements. Plus there's beakers, so it's kind of you could wear a white lab coat. You wouldn't be out of place there. And it seems to be around like really, really cool people that have been doing this professionally for a long time. Now, are you guys tincture guys? Do you guys get into the tinctures?
Not typically. I have had a tincture before that I can recall, but that was years and years ago, so I have not upped my tincture game in quite a while.
Yeah, I'm very inexperienced in this space. I can't say I've gotten into it too deep.
Yeah, same. I will say on 2 occasions since I've moved to Boulder, I've definitely been at someone's house and they just broke out like a tincturing set, And so I played around with some of that before, like mixing different tinctures to come up with like one master tincture, I guess. So it's kind of fun to play with, The case I did, it was just to make like basically a little bit of like a spray, just to smell good. But I've seen lots of cases where it's like drinkable, all that. So, I mean, I could see myself getting into it a little bit. It's always fun to just play with natural things and make something new, right? Like just
yeah. Nathan, I think you're on the precipice here of being ready for tincturing. Now, Nathan, where are you from originally?
I'm I say I'm from Montana because that's where my family all lives these days. I do have Midwest roots as well in Iowa, but Montana is home. Yep.
Yeah, see, this is the differentiator. See, being the I'm from Colorado. See, we know about this tincturing. This is my responsibility, I feel here, not only as the elder spokesperson, me and the dust contingent, but also being from Colorado, people need to know about tincturing. You even get the tinctures, like you got a sore throat, where do you want to go to? It would be awesome to be able to go to your homemade tincture and soothe that achy throat, So I think it looks pretty cool. Plus, I've heard that you can make tinctures out of poppies, and pretty potent, pretty powerful stuff. Not that I'm endorsing that.
Nice.
So that's what
you can camp here as well, included with the ticket price. That's
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
That makes sense. That tracks. They got in a former life, I was a health food broker. And so I would bring health foods into health food stores. And Paonia was the nut that was so hard to crack. Like they have a absolutely legendary health food store, as you can imagine, being in Paonia. And boy, man, you try to bring some new products in there, they just look at it, they're like, what's in this? Yeah, I mean, it better be grown by like by Tom in a wizard outfit on Troy's beach. Otherwise, they're like, nah, we don't want that. So I never got any of my products. I had probably 300 SKUs. I never got one thing into that grocery store. God dang it. I'm still a little bit bitter about it.
What's the name of the store?
I forget. I should Google it, but I don't want to, I don't want to support them because they didn't support me.
Oh, yeah.
It's a beautiful store though. There's a great one in Durango too. They're equally like selective with their things, but I appreciate that curation. I had some chips. They're like, well, what makes this healthy? I'm like, there's chia seeds in it. They're like, yeah, but I mean, why is that healthy? I'm like, dude, what? It's got chia and corn.
You should know. Yeah, they should know that the chia seeds is what makes it healthy.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into our feature. We're talking about food trucks here. And we're not talking about just any food trucks. We're talking about food trucks that we will drive to. They may come to you, but we're driving to them. And I'm going to get mine going really quick here with some food trucks that I really love. I'm going to start out with Happy Cones. Happy Cones is a New Zealand style soft serve swirl. And my buddy Hap Cameron, this was like his baby. He wanted a food truck so bad, he made it happen. He put this together. So now I've asked some other people from New Zealand, like this is a very popular thing. They take the soft serve and they have this machine and it blends in the fruits. And that's what Happy Cones is. And they got this really cute short bus and they show up at like the Rock and Gem show. They show up at all the big Coliseum events. And it was so popular that Hap was able to turn that into a storefront in the Edgewater Market where you can go and check out Happy Cones there. It's extraordinary. Shout out to Hap Cameron. The other one I want to feature is Rolling Smoke. This might have been the most extraordinary food experience of my entire life, Rolling Smoke. Now, Rolling Smoke has a sandwich that starts with pulled pork. So you got a mountain of pulled pork, and it's the kind I like that's kind of dry. It's just salt and pepper, the seasoning, but it's not like a lot of sauce. So you can add sauce. On top of that, they put the sliced Polish or I don't know, what is it? It's a hot link. So a sliced hot link on top of that. On top of that is 4 pieces of bacon. Dude, wow. When I ate this, it was the saltiest thing I've ever eaten ever, but also the most extraordinarily delicious sandwich I've ever had in my entire life. Shout out to Rolling Smoke. They also were able to parlay their success with a food truck with a standalone store that's in the Stanley Market. And shout to them. The last one I'll say is Tokabe, who we've talked about on this before. Tokabe is an indigenous restaurant in the state. You get your fry bread there, and they have all the sides too that are like native to particularly I think the Lakota and Cheyenne. So there's like choke cherry jam. You can get like buffalo ribs. You can get, I mean, it's so good on top of the fry bread, which is basically like a donut, like a savory donut with like, indigenous Chipotle ingredients on top. Absolutely extraordinary. Of course, Tokabe is famous for their shop on 44th and Tennyson, and then they spun the food truck outside of that restaurant as well. And shout out to them. So those are my food truck recos. Tom, how about you, buddy?
All right. The first one that I have is pretty close to the office. It's just across I-25, near one of those residential buildings, but it is the vegan van. Now, I don't typically like eat vegan food or anything like that, but this is really good. And the best part about it is they make these vegan Crunchwrap Supremes. And it's just like a Taco Bell Crunchwrap Supreme, except all fresh, natural, vegan ingredients, and it tastes really good. I don't even know what they're putting in there, but I eat it and it's delicious. So I wanted to shout out to them for anybody who's interested in vegan type food.
They have looks like they have a couple items that are like inspired by Taco Bell. Also, McDonald's. They have a McLovin. That's like McDonald's, right?
Yeah, they do have a couple Taco Bell type things, and yeah, I think that's kind of their gimmick is like vegan fast food. Um,
Yeah, it
but it's
looks
not
really good.
it's not always very fast, and sometimes they get pretty busy, so you can go over there. They have a nice indoor area where you can eat the food and everything inside the apartment building. They have a partnership with them, so um, check it out. It's actually pretty good. Um, Another one that I want to talk about, and there's always good ones here, but at Improper City, um, they have a really nice Greek food truck. It's all Greek to me, and I do love all the stuff they have. They have some really good like Greek, like gyro fries and stuff. Oh, it's it's good. You can go over there if you're working for the day. Want to hit up the coffee shop, hit up Improper City. You can get all your drinks, coffees from there, and then you just walk out back, and they have the food truck on the patio back there. Um, they have a couple other food trucks that typically pull through there as well, but the Greek one at the moment is my favorite. Um, and
All
then
right.
just to kind of wrap it up, there is one food truck that I really like from this area, but right down in Rhino on Larimer Street, any Thursday through Saturday, even Sunday, they have really good food trucks all up and down Larimer Street. So if you want to just walk around, find some new places to go, check it out. There is one food truck typically over by either Larimer Lounge or a little bit further up north, right over by oh, Finn's Manor, and they are a taco truck, and they have the best chicken tacos that you could ever get. So I forget their name. I will find it out this weekend when I'm over that way, and report back next week.
Nice. Best chicken tacos. That's a claim right there.
Yeah. Oh my God. So amazing. Um, our homie Josh, who you guys might know, me and him literally ordered some of these chicken tacos, started walking away, got like 3 blocks away, both finished all of our tacos, and we just looked at each other and we're like, we're going back, and
We need
walked
more.
walked all the way back to get another order each of these chicken tacos. I mean, it was just
Wow.
absolutely amazing.
Dang. Nice. Nathan, you got any notable food trucks?
Yeah, I sure do. First of all, double plug for Vegan Van. That was also on my list. Good selection, Tom.
Nice.
Before they were a storefront, they used to food truck around more, and they used to go by this brewery right where I used to live in like the Whittier neighborhood of Denver. And it was just like my favorite Thursday night activity to go to this brewery that let dogs inside. Bring my dog Arthur in. I'd order a couple beers and I'd have vegan van food. And it was like when I was trying to start off being a vegetarian like years ago. So it was like my way to have Taco Bell or McDonald's, and like scratch that
Mm,
itch without
nice.
without really
Bubbles.
getting away. Yeah, some bubbles for you. I'm really glad you brought that up. But the other food trucks on my list, this is one I actually had like 2 weeks ago for the first time, so I figured I'd plug it. Is called Tamaki Tornado, and it is like a sushi hand roll food truck. So it's hand roll, it's just a big wrap of rice and all the ingredients that will come with the roll in like a big roll that you can hold in your hand, and it was really good. They have like options like tuna, salmon, like everything you can sushi wise, but they also had a couple vegetarian options with avocado and the like, California rolls, etc. They had a really really good black truffle avocado roll, and yeah, they bounce around a lot. I think they're in Boulder, Denver, and they even go up the Longmont. But if you ever see them, definitely check that out. Then the next one I have is this Korean food truck called Muka. I might be messing the name up because I've never actually heard anyone say it, but I think it means "Are you hungry" in Korean. And I've only had this once and I've never run into it again, but I would definitely track it down. And it's just like fusion Korean food, and they've got some classic Korean dishes like kimchi fries, which is obviously that's a fusion. And they've got like hot dogs, like Korean street cheese dogs, I think are their number one thing that people go there for. And then they've also got, bibimbap and stuff like that, more traditional dishes, but really, really good. And I've seen and heard people rave about it as well. And then my last one is this food truck called Bubba's Cheesecake, which is a dessert one, obviously, that has basically like to go cheesecakes. So, like, you can buy a box of cheesecakes that are just like hand sized, like donuts, essentially, and it can come with four in a box, and each can have different flavors. And the one time I had it, it was like the best cheesecake I've had, and it was in a food truck. So definitely keep an eye out for them. They have some crazy flavors. I think they switch it up a lot. I see one that's got like loops on the top, I think, like Oreo, like strawberry toppings, all over the place, and just really, really good. So, keep an eye out for all three of those because they are not stationary. I think looking at their calendars, they're at several breweries and events and all that every week. And sometimes they don't even release their schedule till the week of. So you got to kind of be on your toes if you want to track them down, but it's worth it for sure.
All of those sound incredible. The Tamaki Tornado one and the cheesecake one sound like I might have to try those when I'm there later this month.
Yes, definitely.
Dude, handheld cheesecakes are dangerous. If they got a key lime cheesecake, forget it. I'll eat till I'm dead.
Who's playing at Red Rocks when Troy is in town? Let's see. What are the dates?
26th through the 29th.
26th to the 29th. Let's get a quick Third Eye Blind, Diana Ross, Damian Marley.
There we go. I could use a little Diana Ross in my life.
Diana Ross,
Diana Ross would be awesome.
Yeah.
No support listed for Diana Ross. She's just gonna do it the whole time, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, who needs to go to the Gen X party when you can go to the Diana Ross concert?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the real Gen X party.
I actually really like Diana Ross, so I would be totally open to that.
Dude, I'll get you up there, Troy.
I really like Damian
if you
Marley
actually want to go.
Yeah.
Damian Marley, yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that is cool.
Nice. Let's do highlights from last week. We got a couple of minutes here. I also want to give a shout out, honorable mention food truck to the food truck at Federal and Spear. On the corner there, there's what was once a gas station. They no longer have gas, and the station is now a liquor store. But they got a food truck up there. Same thing, Tom. Like, I had those tacos and I was like, dude, this is next level. It was unbelievable. And of course, shout out to our favorite food truck of all, the Home Depot taco or a hot dog stand.
Yes, real quick, there are always good ones up there on Santa Fe. Oh wait, no, sorry, am I thinking of Santa Fe? We're First
Federal.
Friday. Okay, you're thinking of Federal, but you just reminded me on First Fridays, if you want to look at some food trucks, go over to Santa Fe,
Yeah.
the main art district down there. I've had some really good food truck food down there on a First Friday, and that's this Friday, so keep that in mind.
Speaking of that, this Friday, First Friday is going down all over the place, so that'll be cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
nice.
fun.
Yeah, Troy, any highlights from last week?
Yeah, I had some friends visiting up in Los Angeles, so we just hung out, kind of just spent the day exploring, doing random activities. We went and tried what was supposedly the best wings in Los Angeles, according to this food critic person. So we went and tried it. It was at this place called Paco's Cantina. It's a traditional Mexican cantina, but apparently the chef or one of the guys in the kitchen has been making this wings recipe for 30 years. It's not even on the menu. Like when you walk in, it's like a traditional like Mexican cantina with like white tablecloths and the whole get go. And I will say they're very, 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 very good. I don't think best wings I've ever had, but I would recommend them. They were pretty outstanding. It was just like traditional crispy buffalo wings. Um, yeah, very, very good. The best part I think was the sauce. You could tell the sauce it wasn't like Frank's Red Hot out of a jug. It was like this was handmade by this guy. He's been doing this a long time. So yeah, that was definitely a big highlight of the weekend. Would recommend it. Paco's Cantina.
Nice.
What about you guys?
My highlight was definitely the Danceportation event at Meow Wolf. Um, I let you guys know I was going to it last week. I went, super cool. I mean, they had so many different stages set up inside the Meow Wolf exhibit, so you get to explore through all of the craziness that is Meow Wolf and stumble upon all of these really cool stages with great DJs playing. So shout out to Danceportation. Jay wore a takeover. It was definitely worth checking out. I think they don't really do these too often. The next one's going to be way down in October for the bass heads. It's going to be a bass event with submission. So um, I would definitely check it out whether you like that music or not, because there's no cooler venue than Meow Wolf to have a bunch of stages set up in. Yeah, check it out.
Nice.
Nathan?
How about you, Nathan? What was your highlight last week?
Well, we already talked about this. It was definitely, the outside festival. It was cool seeing Thundercat and all that. But I also have been getting into roller skating a bit recently. And so last week I also went to a roller skating class in Boulder. This class or this organization, I guess you'd call it, called Skate Date. And it's pretty cool. They've got like open skate nights on Tuesday. They do classes like every week. And it's just a fun time. It's fun to try something new. I don't know how much anyone knows about roller skating here, but I've been trying to learn on quad skates, but I used to like play hockey as a kid, which are more inline skates. And the difference is staggering. Like I did not realize how much it would be, like how much different of a technique it is, but it's crazy different. And the instructor was telling me like the times that they do get injured people, it's usually people who go from inline skates to squat skates and just assume they're the same, because they're not. It's like inline skates, you're like picking up and like digging your feet in like you almost would with skis, if you're trying to get speed on a trail. Quad skates, if you're doing it right, you don't have to pick up the four wheels on either of your skates at all while skating. So I mean, shout out to that. They're pretty cheap events. I think they have rental skates like $10, basically. So check it out if you're in the neighborhood. If you want to just try to skate around, it's kind of fun.
Roller skates. Which do you prefer, full quads or inline?
I mean, I prefer inline because I'm much better at that. I'm really bad at quads right now. Well, not really bad, but I can't do anything special other than get from point A to point B. But I get why like people who do crazy stuff, like they can do like ramps, like jumps, like skate parks, like dancing, on skates. Like lots of times people opt for quads over inlines because of the solid foundation, So I'm trying to get better to do some cool stuff like that eventually.
Tom, you noticed that in the skate park when like there'll be some gal that rolls in on roller skates and everyone's just kind of like, hold up, hold up, hold up, like let her go, because they're always doing wild tricks, man.
Yeah. Some skate girls on the quads usually come through and do some wild stuff. But then the
Totally.
traditional inline skate guys, that's like the OG freestyle action sports skating. But now there's this new wave of typically typically hot skater girls on quads doing some crazy like thing in like a deep bowl or something, like there's a new wave of quad skaters at the skate park.
Totally. That's like one of my favorite things. Skate park. It's either middle-aged guy on a BMX. Everyone's like, "Oh shit, what's about to go down now?"
Yeah.
Or it's the hot chick with the quads. You're like, "Oh, she's gonna backflip. I know it's something insane's about to happen."
It's hilarious. Yeah, that
Nice.
is pretty true.
Cool. Well, thanks, guys. Nathan, appreciate you coming on the show, man. It was so fun.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. This was a blast.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was a solid episode. I am starving now, so if that's any indication, shout out to food trucks. God dang, beautiful thing. All right. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Troy. Thank you, Nathan. Thank you to kitcaster.com. Check out information on this podcast at kitcaster.com/Denver. If you've got an event, drop it in there. We will absolutely promote it and give you shout out. You can also, while you're there, kitcaster.com/Denver, you can subscribe to the show. We live stream it on YouTube on Tuesdays. Of course, we're on TikTok and Instagram, thanks to Troy Higgins. And we're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts to listen to in podcast form there. That's all I've got. Until next Tuesday, have a great day, everybody. Bye.